Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is your man, Chris Thorns. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching my content. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is. It is another update, so let's get right into it. All right, guys. This is a story that I've been talking about for a while now. 8-year-old Sophia Mason. I told y'all something about this story that just really has caught my attention. Give me just a minute, guys. Give me just a minute. All right. Sorry about that. Had to go do something real fast. Yes, this is updated by 8-year-old Sophia Mason. If anybody need to recap of the story, the best thing I can tell you now is just look up her name. It is Sophia Mason, and you will see everything that has been going on with this young precious baby right here. So, all right, here is the update that we got now. Her mom went to court yesterday on the 28th. Let me see. Do I still got her mom picture here? Let's see. Yes, I still do. The lady you see right there, they got Johnson at the bottom. That's Samantha Johnson. That is Sophia Mason mom. And the guy you see right there, that is the boyfriend who is currently on the run. And now they have a $3,000 reward for his capture. All right. By the way, that is her mom down there, Sophia Johnson. Well, here's the update. She went to court yesterday, and she did like everybody else do. Pleaded not guilty. Pleaded not guilty. I'm gonna let y'all hear what's going on. Let me get this out the way real quick. And let's have a listen.
This morning, a Hayward mother appeared in court on charges for the murder of her 8-year-old daughter. KRON on Sarah Stinson's covering this story for us here in the newsroom. She's got more on what happened in court. Sarah.
Noelle, that's right. Samantha Johnson made her first appearance in court pleading not guilty to the murder of her 8-year-old daughter. Take a look. This is Samantha walking out of the courtroom in Merced County. Meanwhile, her boyfriend remains wanted by police in connection to the murder. Sophia Mason was first reported missing on March 8th by her grandmother. Merced police say the grandmother and aunt became concerned when Samantha said she was coming to the Bay Area for a visit without her daughter Sophia, saying she gave her away. Many lies followed that as to where Sophia was. Family members said the last time they saw the little girl was in December. As the search began to heighten, Samantha was arrested for a warrant issued for a previous child abuse incident that happened last year in Alameda County. That warrant led investigators to Samantha's boyfriend's house in Merced, where they found the 8-year-old girl dead. The coroner has not released the cause of death yet, but the mother was arrested, charged. You just saw her in court for the murder of her daughter and a felony child abuse charge. The boyfriend was not arrested at the time because police did not have enough evidence to believe he was involved. The boyfriend, take a look, Dante Jackson, has been on the run ever since and is now wanted in connection to the murder of Sophia. Since Samantha's arrest, she's opened up to investigators about the abuse that occurred within the last days and weeks of Sophia's life. According to a police report, Johnson told detectives her and the boyfriend kept her in a metal shed in the backyard and that Jackson physically and sexually abused her. Investigators collected evidence supporting that claim. The family of Sophia say it's been horrific to learn all that happened behind closed doors.
Hearing that she was kept in a shed and that she was treated in the manner that she was during her last month or so. It's left our family to a range of catatonia to anger.
Merced police have issued a $3,000 reward for 34-year-old Jackson.
Excuse me.
Samantha will be in court next on April 6th and 11th. We will continue to follow the story from right here at the KRON 4 newsroom. For now, I'm Sarah Stinson reporting live. Back to you, Noelle.
Sarah, thank you.
All right, April the 6th, April the 11th. I'm going to see if I can keep them dates in mind, or for those of you who are listening to the sound of my voice, for those who are following this story as well, you can do the same for me. Keep me updated. on the dates, April 6th and April the 11th. All right, so it's always the last few stories I've done. These people do this crazy ish, and then turn around and say they're not guilty for it. They're not guilty for doing it. You know, it's just amazing that in this era we do fuck shit, but then try to blame everybody else. That's the reason as to why we done the fuck shit. And trust me, I'd have dealt with quite a few people like that. It's somebody else's fault. It's never their fault. And if you don't do what they want you to do, now all of a sudden you a bad person. You ain't done nothing. They want to air you out, and it just crazy. All this stuff just crazy, you know. But anyway, though, let's get into some more of this. All right. As I read this, there's a couple of things that I wanted to point out. And if you give me a minute, I will find them and I will point it out to you. All right, guys, here we go. I found one of the things I wanted to, and I wanted you to see this. According to Harris, Merced County CPS failed to help Sophia and take her out of her mother's custody despite numerous reports of suspected child abuse. Then, as you said at the bottom, Johnson worked as a prostitute and was frequently homeless, Harris said. She was a prostitute and was frequently homeless, Harris said. Okay? Now, which leads me to wonder, was Jackson, her boyfriend, was he the pimp? All right? It makes me wonder, was he her pimp? Just curious. I guess it really won't make a difference because both of them going to get dealt with when it comes to the situation. But I'm just curious, was he the pimp? All right? Okay. And with that being said, now it is kind of puzzling that if this was mentioned to CPS that she's living as a prostitute and constantly homeless, then yes, I am curious as to why nothing was done. But I don't know. I don't work for CPS. I don't know how that mess works. All right. And as always, the agency cannot comment publicly on child abuse cases because of the confidentiality laws. I want to point this out too. Her grandmother raised her, cared for her, enrolled her in school. They had such a strong relationship. Sophia loved her grandma, and her grandma loved Sophia. They were doing well until Samantha came last year and took her away, Harris said. Okay? And you know what? Back in my time, again, grandmothers, you know, they would do all this for a child if they felt that the mother didn't seem fit to raise the child, or however the arrangement was made. Because I know my grandma did it for me in a few of my years of school. Enrolled me, made sure I fed, dressed, and all that good stuff, you know? So I can relate to that. And it seemed like we do well when we were with grandmother, because grandmother may have been old, but she did not play. And granddaddy did not play, you know? So I can relate to that. But now, here's the real shebang bang right here. If y'all can see that. Johnson said she took her daughter because her new boyfriend Jackson wanted to meet Sophia, according to Harris. What the fuck? Are y'all hearing me? She took her daughter because her new boyfriend, this fool here, wanted to meet her daughter, Sophia. A man wanted to meet an 8-year-old. Now look, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I have dealt with a lot of females that have children. I cannot recall not one time I ever told a female that I wanted to meet her child. Not saying that it's a bad thing that you meet their child, but to ask to meet their child, I don't recall ever doing that. I promise I don't recall. I may have, but at this moment, I do not recall. Because me personally, in this era, if somebody wants to meet your children, I guess it's not a bad thing, but I guess it's how pushy they are about it and how it's being presented, I guess would be a problem. And for what we're hearing about him, it's not like he's a child predator. So he might have been pushy about meeting this woman's child. And if she does have mental illness, like they claiming she got, or what she claiming she has, then I feel entitled to say he did use that woman's mental illness against her. He more likely used her mental illness against her and got what he really wanted. It could be possible he was pimping out the mom. But he wanted the baby. That's what he really wrote. He had his eyes on the baby. So I want y'all to see the record. Because this really caught my attention right here. When I saw this, I said, oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all better watch out for this. Somebody eager to meet your children. Something's really strange about that. Something really strange. Any person whose child I've met, again, guys, I'm 42. So again, I don't recall ever saying I want to meet your child. I recall any female who I dealt with, I met their child naturally because either the child was staying with them. All right. So I never go into anything with a female and say, oh, you got children? Oh, I want to meet your children. I don't do that. I don't do that. If I already know you, whether it's via social media or a co-worker or somebody I went to school with, you know, you have a child that's just somebody I'm just going to end up meeting eventually. I'm not just going to consider and say, ooh, show me your baby, show me your baby, show me your baby. Yay! No. None of that. None of that. And this right here. She suffered escalating abuse in the months leading up to her death. Johnson told detectives that her daughter was forced to live in a metal shed in the backyard of Jackson's house. Then, here we go. Sophia endured extreme cruelty at the hands of Jackson through physical and sexual abuse, the police report writes. And you met this man want to meet your child, just do this to your child. All right. Again, guys, I'm not saying mental illness is not real. It is real. Trust me, it is real. It's nothing to really joke about. It is real. But the thing is, when it comes to cases like this, people want to play that card saying that they mentally ill, and a lot of times really they not. They're just to get them to water down the situation from worse to somewhat better, and to say at least it wasn't that bad. You know, some people do that. Try to water it down and try to make it seem like it ain't that bad. It ain't that bad like y'all make it seem. Okay? So I don't know if Johnson really does have mental illness, or she was just somebody who thought she wanted a child, and once the child got here, and once she stopped to think, when she felt the focus wasn't on her anymore, this woman claims she got jealous of her own child. Because if you really look at it now, you know, y'all forgive me for saying this, but if you really look at it, I mean, you look at Sophia from the outside looking in, you know, she's not a bad looking woman. So maybe before she had a child, she had a lot of people that eyeball her. Then she got the brown eyes. You know, a lot of people like A lot of men like the brown eyes and whatnot. So before this child came, she was getting all the attention. But even her has to have common sense to know that when a child is presented, a lot of attention will go to the child because we love children. And if you're an animal lover, I mean, you love pups, you know, kittens and things like that. They're going to always get the attention. So Sophia knew that. But the fact that you sit up there and, I mean, not Sophia, excuse me, Johnson, she knew that. But got jealous of her child because she was getting the attention, I guess, that she once was. And that's why I say, well, this story is a damn shame and the motherfucking ridiculous. It is. It is. Again, young Sophia, dear, I am so sorry this happened to you. You deserve much more better than this. And it's sad how your mama, not only your mom, but for what it sounds like, this system has failed you as well, baby girl. Rest in heaven. All thing we can hope for now is that you get justice for what happened to you. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, y'all leave y'all thoughts, y'all comments about this, because, you know, the more I get into this story, you know, the more worse it sounds. The more worse it sounds as I get more into the story. It's just, this is the worst that it gets. All right. Y'all take care of yourself and each other, and catch y'all next time. Peace out.